Boxing Bros UK. Stay tuned, stay listening, and stay informed.
Where is the fight going to be? AJ Fury, UK, USA. That's the big debate that's going on now. We know it's going to be in America. Front runners, as we can see from my interview with Adam Smith.
Flashback.
Last question before I let you go. Any inkling of when that fight might be happening? Like December this year or next year?
The date I've been sort of hearing muted around is November the 14th in Madison Square Garden. And it should be in Britain. It should be at Wembley. Should and business obviously do different things. And I heard Madison Square Garden. I guess they'll say it's the history and Ali Frazier and huge heavyweight fights like Lewis and Holyfield happen there. And I guess it's a next best after Wembley. Sure. But look, they're at the end of their careers, and we just want to see the fight over the line. So
exactly,
let's get it made, guys. Let's get it officially announced,
please.
Meanwhile,
there's a big problem with it being in America and trying to understand the mechanics of why it's in America, because Tony Bellew, he goes after Eddie Hearn a little bit too hard, but everything he's saying is absolutely right. Take it from the man himself.
Flashback.
What are you going there for? What are we trying to prove?
Why are you asking me? I feel like these people want the fight to be in the US. That's the reality of the situation.
Why?
Because
the biggest number of pay-per-view fights are going to be in the UK.
MSG, America, Showbiz, they've got a hard on for it.
Okay,
that's the reality.
Well, American boxing's dead.
But they don't. What do you think they really?
The American boxing's dead.
Yeah, but
no one cares.
It's
no one cares in America.
They've been talked into the fact.
Eddie had the WBC heavyweight champion for 10 years and no one cared. To this day. What are you going there for? What are we trying to prove?
Why are you asking me?
I feel like you want to fight Eddie, but you're
actually
agreeing with each other.
I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it. We're appealing to America. Why America don't care about us? When have America cared about boxing? They want what we've got. We've got the best crowds in the world. We've got the most passionate fans in the world, and that's why it should be with us. These are the two stalwarts of British boxing. These have put boxing back on the map. No one cares about America. No one's cared about America since Evander Holyfield retired and Mike Tyson left. No one cares.
Meanwhile,
like everything Tony Bellew said is pretty much bang on. Like, why do they want the fight in America? How are they going to generate extra money? American boxing fans are fickle. They're not like us. They're not diehard, backing their man to the end. Like, they're always booing their fighters, walking out of fights early. They ain't like us. They're not. They're not a fighting nation. Yeah, they're more about their NFL and their basketball and baseball and shit. And that's fair enough. So it don't make sense to have it in America, but it looks like they're the front runners. However, the fight might not be happening because Eddie Hearn and AJ, in their contract, it says it's in the UK. So just take a look at this interview, Stomping Ground, Gareth A. Davis.
Well, let's just start with the main topic of conversation. We've spoke about it from a different point of view, but we've seen Eddie Hearn come out more recently and say, look, me and AJ are kind of like the only ones fighting the battle here to have this in the UK. We're under a lot of pressure. And there's been a suggestion that, look, they want to get this announced soon. And he's made it clear, if this gets announced and there has been no agreement at his end to change it to America, this fight will not happen. This fight will not happen. The fight not happening, do you think? Or is this
Yeah,
Eddie's,
I do.
The lawyer, but in terms of the contract, you know that it's basically now a case of how much money then is Turki Al-Sheikh willing to pay all the parties who want it in the UK to change to the US now then? Is that where we're at?
Well, no, I think my understanding is, and I could be proven wrong on this, but my understanding is they both got separate and distinct contracts.
Right.
I think Tyson Fury's contract is to fight Anthony Joshua. I don't think there's a stipulation on the UK. That's my understanding because I haven't had that conversation with anyone. AJ's obviously is with Eddie Hearn, which is what they stipulated in the contract. You can imagine thinking it through logically that if it does go to New York as purported mid-November, even on a Friday, people are saying, and I've heard that myself through sources. And I think Eddie Hearn's been playing about this. We're going to have to go back to the negotiating table and ask for a little bit more money. Like, I think That's understandable because the contract's going to have to be redrawn. Potentially, the contract for Fury needs to be redrawn as well. It's Eddie that's dug his heels in, you're right, and has come out all along and said, this is a fight that ought to happen in the UK. I've said these kind of things before to his father, Barry Hearn, and I remember him saying to me, it's fine having Corinthian spirits, but this is business, son, and I've known Barry a long time. When Joshua and Fury were going to fight in the Middle East, if you recall.
Correct.
I'm talking 5 years ago, 2-fight deal, Jeddah, it was going to be over there. And I remember him saying, we go where the money speaks. And I think anyone in the cold light of day involved in this, from Frank and George Warren to Spencer Brown to Eddie Hearn to the teams around Joshua, what are they called? 358 management, yeah.
258.
25. All right, so it'll be 358 by the time he's been paid.
Yeah.
So it'll be another 100 million. All of them will be wanting the fight in the UK. I mean, people are pulling me up and saying, "Oh, you said you didn't." I didn't mind. My argument was, if it was going to happen in America, at least we're going to get it. And if the stipulation from Netflix and Turkey Al Sheikh was that no, it's got to be in America because that's where we can make it worth 200 million, and that's how we can pay you. Because Netflix needs to do their prime time on a Friday in New York for that audience. They'll gain 14 million more followers or 20 million more subscribers. I get that. I get the algorithm. I get it's not a purse split. It's not an A-side, B-side thing. It's not the old form of broadcasters. It's a streaming service. 325 million subscribers. A quarter of them are in America, over 80 million of them. So that's their target audience, largely. And then you add in the factors, Matthew, but how big is it really in America? How big can it be in America? And hopefully this is marinating at the moment for people to realise that, no, we've probably got to do it prime time in America, but we've got to have it in the UK because that will create the enormous atmosphere. I think that's being jockeyed around at the moment, and I think that's what everyone's working on. I think they need to get a resolution by the end of this month if they're going to do it in November, because they really need to sell this fight.
Is there any danger of, obviously, because of the stance that Eddie's taken, obviously, and saying AJ's in the same camp with, no, it has to be in the UK. If it does get made for the US, is that there's going to be a case of a lot of backlash, I think, from potentially a lot of UK fans and everyone saying, well, what's going on here?
Meanwhile,
you make some very interesting points. Is this just a ploy for Eddie Hearn and AJ to get more dough, or are they genuinely wanting it in the UK and going to take less money? We don't know. And is there a strong possibility that the fight is going to be not happening now because it's not in the UK? Because my thing is, do the English fans, do we even care about this fight that much? That everyone's going to be coming out in their droves, selling out Wembley and all that? Is it because of the state, especially the Stay Busy fights they had, weren't great performances? Is it got that much demand in the UK still? Probably, because we love our fighters, we get behind our boys, and it's the old question, who's the best? Even though they're both way past their primes, we just want that argument finished. Even though it doesn't matter who wins. Oh, in his prime he would have won, whoever the victor is. That's what we are. That's boxing fans for you. Do you know what I mean? So who's right? Like, just who cares? Just get it signed, get it done. We don't care where it is. Or the British fans, are they being shit on? Or all the support they've shown their fighters, that two top British heavyweights, big names, and it's not going to be in Britain. So even if we don't buy tickets, we still have to stay up till 4 in the morning. We're probably not going to do that. And like Gareth A. Davis said, that he heard it might be even on a Friday. So God knows. What are your thoughts on the fight? Get it fucking done. Who cares? Or you're boycotting it if it's in America because it ain't fair. What do you think?
Telling you to check out Boxing Bros UK.